I'm really tired. I was working until 4:30 this morning, and then got back up around 7:30. Yeah, so not a lot of sleep. I did get my ad tool thing working, and then I got a page done, drawn, finished, released, and then I didn't finish writing issue 5, but I had the first 5 pages blocked in, so that's good enough. I just needed to get a page done to keep on schedule. So I did that, and then, I'm really tired. I haven't stayed up that late in a long time working. I tried to film myself last night. That was a mistake. It's just all rambling garbage. What I'm thinking about today is, now that I'm officially halfway done with the serialization of this new graphic novel, See You in Hell, I'm officially on the second half. So I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do next. I have 3 ideas in mind. All 3 are in various stages. The first 2 are pretty locked in. I'll go in order of like how locked in they are, or how much I've thought about them. I end up sitting and thinking about stories for literal years. This first one I've been thinking about for 15 years. From when I was traveling a lot for business. I would always, especially if I was staying or I had an extended stay, working, in an off-site location, in a different city or a different state, or if I was at like kind of a long conference, you end up starting to feel like a ghost, almost haunting your own life on occasion, because you're still tied to your home, but you're not actively part of it, if that makes sense. It's a weird form of disassociation that you can have. And I noticed it when I was traveling a lot for business. And I wanted to do a story about a woman in her middle age who's a professional that was doing a lot of the same thing, that was traveling for her job, and her going through those feelings. This would be a little bit more novelistic. I have thought about maybe putting a sci-fi bent to it, but I think I prefer it set in our world. So there's that. Tentatively titled it Ghosts. But that's a pretty boring name. And one thing I've learned is come up with a unique name, because then people tend to remember it. The next idea is for a horror comic. That would be like a road trip feel to it. So think like the Incredible Hulk TV series, which had a profound impact on me when I was a kid. If I hear the music, I get tingles. Or like Near Dark, which is about a pack of vampires that are traveling around in a Winnebago in Texas. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. Some real gnarly stuff in there, by the great Catherine Bigelow. Or like Bones and All, which is about 2 cannibals that are in love and are wandering around the countryside. The unique thing about both of those is that they take place in the 80s, when we weren't as, surveilled as much or trackable as easily. So I thought about doing something like that. I don't know if I have worked out a way to do it set in modern times. It would be in and around South Dakota would be the setting. Not specifically the Badlands, but the Badlands would be a part of it. Which, if you haven't been, is a very interesting place. It's kind of romantic and desolate, and just South Dakota altogether is a very visually interesting place. There you can go miles without seeing anything, even from the interstate. I had a chance encounter with a stranger last year when I was traveling through South Dakota, and that locked in the story for me. That encounter, that guy, made me think, oh, this is what my horror comic should be about. And I don't want to give away too many details because I feel like I want to keep the main the main horror part of it under wraps until it's revealed in the story naturally. So there's that road trip horror comic. And then the third one, and this is, I've just kind of started thinking about this actually, would be a superhero comic that I could share with my son. He's really into superheroes. I would like to do something sort of in the vein of John Romita Sr.'s run on Spider-Man. So that he was the second Spider-Man artist right after Steve Ditko. That was a really fun era. It's kind of what made Spider-Man Spider-Man, based off that work. So I thought about doing something like that. I was close to almost doing a superhero comic as an adult with Steve Bissette. Not close, but close enough with, he's an actual name. But he hates superheroes. So he hated, had to draw the Justice League and like several issues of Swamp Thing, and he hated that. Anyways, he had this 1963 project, and one of the characters was the Fury, which I loved. I thought he was the best character out of the 1963 series that was originally released by Image Comics in 1993. And I've done some work with Steve on revitalizing those characters and kind of he has a project that he's working on, and so he needed some art assistance with stuff, but it's not a full comic per se. I tried to talk him into doing a full comic with it, with the Fury specifically, and he was like, no, not really. I'm not interested in superheroes, which makes sense. He's more of a horror guy anyway. So anyway, those are my ideas. If any of those trip your trigger, let me know. Leave a comment. And I really need to get some sleep tonight, so I'm gonna wrap it. Talk soon. Thanks.